Hey, it's the Michigan Mayor here. I'm back in Victoria 3 playing the Michigan Time Traveler playthrough. This is going to be episode 5, and it's June 7th, 1737. At the end of last episode, we finally declared war on Montana because we need to go over there and get their silver. And I was looking at it while it was paused, and I seen if I hover over my money value in the top left, it'll tell me my money supply. There's $87 million total money supply. But in circulation is only 80.9 million. The Pops have 31 million in savings, 61 million in savings. The private banks own 5.8 thousand, and the buildings themselves have 18.6 million. And the government only holds $907,000, while at the end of the list here it says the central bank reserve holds 6 million. Now, the government, the Pops, and the total money supply are the government and the Pops money supply is increasing, but the central reserve banks is decreasing. So when this number reaches 0 and our central bank runs out of money, money's going to start to get very expensive. The dollar bill will be very expensive as it gets harder and harder for the Pops to get their hands on that money. So if I come up here to the financial screen and I click economy and I come here to devaluation and revaluation, if I click devaluation, I can add $21 million. I can print $21 million. So now my central bank has money again to put out into the economy if they need to. Now let's say the central bank starts to gain a lot of money and they hold all this money and it's not in the economy. I'll destroy the money. So that way the money value will stay the same, right? Because if the central bank holds all the money, it's still going to be hard for the Pops to get their hands on it. It's going to drive the value of the money up. So I'll remove the money, so the value of the money is less because there's less. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I do know that if the central bank runs out of money, I'm going to print this to devalue it. If the central bank holds on to too much money, I can destroy the money to revalue it. At least those, I know that far. In theory, that's how I think it's gonna work. But when we hit that point, which we will, we're gonna have to test it out. We're gonna go through a few economic crashes before we're able to get all of our buildings and technologies all set up to get all of our goods being produced. And we're going to have to force through these Pops. These Pops don't want to change. And we're not going to push them too hard, but we do want to free the slaves as one of our main objectives. So here we found a mineral deposit. Does it say where? Probably right in Michigan. Geological investigations in a previously undeveloped region have revealed a rich deposit of minerals. Hazen Shenek is not yet sure what the main aspect of his search should be. So he is our geologist. And let's see, he could go for quantity, and we could get 15,000 minerals, or quality, and get one rare mineral. I'm going to get one rare mineral. Here's another event. Strange medicine. Our archaeologist and our doctor have come together. With some free time together, our doctor and archaeologist have shared their research. You're not eating the mummy, are you? The physician asks the archaeologist. Okay. That's what they want to do in their free time? Go ahead. So our army has just arrived over here at the Great Plains. I'm gonna raise the conscripts so that way they'll be afraid. Maybe they'll give up and just give us the territory without a war. After they see how many the mass amount of troops that we can, our vast peasant army that we can raise. So it looks like the publishing industry is almost done here. Now, banks buys more money. It's gone to the bank. Yeah, I'm curious to see how the bank uses that money that they buy, or if they buy it and just hold on to it. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll sell it to other countries. Once other countries either develop it on their own, or the technology diffuses over to them, each one of these states is going to get its own central bank sooner or later. Our second balloon guy has died in another balloon accident. That's horrible. So let's hire our third balloonist. Let's go into our sports section in our aeronautics and see the altitude. These are our records. The altitude is 23,930 meters, is the highest balloon that we've launched. The longest distance is 4,241. I think that can grow if your territory grows, probably. Can't go farther than that unless they go back and forth from coast to coast. And he spent 116 hours in his balloon. And our new character is called Gordon Weber. He's our new balloonist. Okay. Behind bars. Let's see, what's this event? The arrest and alleged ill treatment of a disorderly protester affiliated with the pro-slavery movement has sparked resentment against his compatriots. So he's part of the pro-slavery movement. And I could release him early on good behavior, and it'll lower their political activism. Or I could make an exception of him. I don't know, he wants to enslave people and he's complaining about being in jail. Seems kind of stupid. I'm just going to leave him in jail. It's like, okay, well, this is what you want, right? This is the society that you wanted. I don't know. At war with Montana has broken out. Okay, here we go. And it's all just irregular infantries. If I go to war with the wrong person and he has too many allies, they could assemble more regulars than I have, and we could lose. We need to start to manufacture more weapons like guns. But for now, we gotta focus on the publishing industry. And we need the publishing industry for our university that one of our aristocrats built on his own. He was feeling generous and built his own university. Too bad I couldn't have renamed it after that guy. That way we'd know who he was. I forget. A sulfur shortage. Yeah, they did I did get this explosives factory pop up in an event, and it demands chemicals and sulfur. In my livestock ranches, I do have 4 livestock ranches spread across my different states. Let's see, agriculture, livestock. I have one in Michigan, one in Wisconsin, one in South Dakota. So I can take my Michigan livestock ranch and I can change it to increased wool gathering. So any new livestock ranch I built in new states won't have this. But Michigan will, and it's going to consume more food, but it's going to give me more cloth and chemicals. So that's what I'll do there. Yeah, because all my new buildings I build in other states, I want to keep all of the production methods as low as I can. And we'll focus on each state by itself once we decide to industrialize it. But right now we don't have any industrialization. It's just peasants. They don't know what's going on. They don't even know that they have all this technology. You know, they can't read, they can't write. We got to teach these people how to do everything. Their literacy rate right now is 9.2%. It's growing steadily. If we can get one of these political parties to push for a movement to open up the schools, we can probably get either religious or private schools. Well, probably not religious because we're atheists. Probably get private or public. Public would be better. That way everybody has a shot to get literate. Oh yeah, so we had this event pop up, Ancient Disease. Our doctor has brought precious insights to the work of our anthropologist. But of course, if you examine this part of their skull, you can see that they had actually begun to heal from their injuries. Okay, so I gained 30 academic progress. They're looking at tuberculosis through history. And my physician, Dr. Eaton, gained 5 experience points. And yeah, so that's another thing. All of these scientists and artists and all of the sports guys like the balloonists, they can all gain experience points. And they can grow in different levels in different types of things like flora or fauna. The geologist can you get better at prospecting or looking at different things. It's mainly the engineer. He can be a civil engineer, a mechanical engineer. He can be a military engineer, an electrical engineer, or an aeronautical engineer. And each one of these you pick has its own tree. So if I change him to a mechanical engineer, I can have him work on my railroads or locomotives. Or I could change him over here. See, right now he's an electrical engineer. And I'd like for him to work on a radio network. But that's probably not going to be for a while. So within the next 5 years, if I can't develop a radio network, I'm probably going to move him back over to be a mechanical engineer. If he's a mechanical engineer, I can get him working on either different factories. I can put him in the factories to start working on those or on the railroads. And it looks like Montana has fallen. So before I do this event, I'll minimize it. I'll say okay to the capitulation of Montana. Now we'll go to Montana. We're going to look through the buildings. And everything here kind of looks pretty good. Now, if I hover my mouse over, you can see the resources. So this is a wheat farm, and if I wanted to change it to sugar beets, I could produce more sugar over fruit. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to maintain the single crop here. Livestock ranches look fine. They have a construction sector, which is good, but I don't have a construction sector in South Dakota. That's right. So I'm going to put a construction sector in South Dakota. Put it to the top of the list. No. I put it underneath the publishing industry. Now here in Montana, I'm going to put, already has construction sector, so I'm going to put my silver mine. I'll put my silver mine under my publishing industry and hit play. So now we can go to this event called Closing In. Our General Hollowell has become aware that the state's efforts to reduce the amount of military forces available to him. He has accused the government of recklessly meddling in military affairs. So it looks like this guy is getting ready to attack us. I could inform my men to take positions. That's going to make the military interests a little more upset, and their coup will progress by 50. Or I could relay the news to the far-flung colleagues. That makes them even more upset than the first time, and it makes 10% of their population more radical. 10, yeah, both the officers and the servicemen. All right, well, I'm just going to take positions at the Capitol, see what happens. Make sure to hit the play button. Five more weeks till the publishing industry is complete. And it's currently November 21st, 1737. The bicycle of the future. A new design of bicycle has emerged, featuring equal-sized wheels, a chain-driven rear axle, and improved balance. Unlike the precarious high-wheelers, the safety bicycle is stable, affordable, and fastly becoming a sensation. Its inventor, oh, it's Mr. Misosi. It's Mr. Misosi. This guy's back, yeah. Yeah, I feel like he's going to invent a lot of things in the next few years. He's an Algonquin atheist. Yeah, he's a pretty badass guy right there. Let every citizen ride into the modern age. That's what he says. He gains 15 mechanical engineering experience. The other side of the fence. Our people are complaining about the difference in living standards between us and the neighbors in North Dakota. After the shop door swings shut, they exchange a meaningful glance. She didn't even notice you gave her the wrong change. Why do you think I'd do it? For her sort, they can afford it. I'll be damned if the North Dakotians think they can come here and flaunt their wealth, expecting us to just tolerate it. So the people in North Dakota come down here and spend all their money. They don't even notice when they get the wrong change back. So that kind of makes my people thieves. This is simply an example of global economic inequality that's going to make the urbanized workers happier. And it's going to criticize economic injustice. Clearly, they are liars who cheat foreigners out of money. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. People in North Dakota, up north there. It's the way things are. It's not worth thinking about. Yeah, I like that one. That's just how it is for now. It's 1737. That's just how it is. And I'm not going to spend any resources to change it. That's a good option to pick. So here is our new event that just popped up called, let's see, the Great Michigander Bicycle Race. The day has come. Riders from across the country gather at the starting line, eager to test man and machine on the open road. The air crackles with anticipation. So we invented the bicycle, and now December 1st, 1731, we hold the first bike race. It gives me some prestige indefinitely. The sun rises over the boulevard, already crowded with spectators. Banners flutter. The smell of grease and dust hangs in the morning air. Dozens of riders mount their bicycles. Some gleaming machines fresh out of the factory. Others patched together with black in a back alley workshop. A shout rings out, cheers erupt, and the wheels begin to turn. They ride through the city streets, out into the countryside. Farmers pause in their fields. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So our first bicycle race after we invented the bicycle. Our pops invented the bicycle down there on the map. Let's see what's going on with our standard of living. So the standard of living is basically going to stay the same for a while. We have a new publisher, a new publishing house. Thawakilla opened its doors in Michigan. The printing press has been rattling since midday today. So December 23rd, 1737, we open up the first printing press, and it's been rattling all day long. Michigan's social life has a richer faucet. So it says here, the new publishing house in Michigan is currently arousing public interest. Let's see. Our biologist today announced in a specially printed leaflet that his company will bring numerous new publications onto the market from now on. The news therefore spreads extremely quickly, and an onlooker gathered in front of the building. The news therefore spread extremely quickly, and an onlooker gathered in front of the building. The question is already circulating as to which area the new publisher will specialize in. So now we can pick what he's going to talk about. He could be higher literature. It could be a scientific publisher. It could be an art magazine. Or the publisher will entertain people. So this option says 2% of the public becomes more loyal. And it looks like we don't really have any loyal people at all. Everybody's a radical. Everybody really hates what's going on here. Most of them. Higher literature says that we get 15 literary traditions. Science gives us 2 artistic progress, and the art one gives us artistic progress, 50 of them. I think it's going to be an entertainment magazine. We'll get 2% more loyalists. Yeah, maybe we'll keep them happy by giving them some fun stuff to read about. So here's the publishing industry. Let's see, is there any new buildings that opened up? No. So let's see, the silver mine is going to take 212 weeks. I'm going to build a construction sector in South Dakota. That'll be the first thing that I do. The general is accused of plot. So our general lodge, and he's associated with aristocratic interest, has been accused of grave disloyalty. He claims this is nothing but a plot by subversive elements to remove a barrier to their rule. So I say, who exactly made this accusation? Or I have a persecuted general, and this guy retires, and then he dies. Yeah, I think that's what I could do. Is it this guy? Doodly. Let's see, he is just our general. Let's see, if I open the military, look at our army. Yeah, he's the general of our second army. We cannot take chances with the loyalties of our general. But I don't want to buy a new general, so that's fine. Besides, he only has 5 conscripts. I don't know what he's going to do with only 5 conscripts. And if the Pops really want to throw a revolution, I'm pretty sure that they will without him. So that seems fine to me. So now, our physician has the ability to heal somebody. So let's open up the possible treatments window. And we can see our General Doodley from our first army. He has kidney stones. And who's this guy? He's a pilot. He's the leader of the abolitionists, and he's an alcoholic. And then we have Mark McLean. He's the leader of the conservative reformists, and he has a psychological affliction. Well, I'm going to help this guy with kidney stones first. And my doctor made his kidney stones worse. Oof. All right. We just had another pop-up with our archaeologists in Montana. So the state we just took, Montana. Paleontologists have discovered rock formations millions of years old. Numerous fossils are likely to be slumbering in this massive formation, possibly even well-preserved skeletons that we could only dream of until now. Formations with ancient rock strata are a paradise for paleontologists. All rock formations contain smaller fossils that can be found there. Alright, cool. Let's take a closer look. Our archaeologist gains 15 experience. And the state of Montana has gained the Great Geological Formation state trait. So if we look at the overview of our state, Montana, we see it's Great Geological Formation. It also is a habitat for the grizzly bear. Yeah. Okay, so South Dakota is habitat for the bison. What other states have habitats? Oh, here under the state overview, it shows the 3 art styles: Impressionism, Art Nouveau, and Expressionism. And it shows here that it gives us military traditions, painting traditions, and musical traditions. Expressionism is 3 literary, 1 music, 1 painting. Art Nouveau is 3 painting, 1 literacy, with 1 musical. And Impressionism is 3 music, 1 literacy, and 1 tradition. So each one is for each different thing. All right, that's cool. That's why it gave us so many pop-ups. I wasn't sure how that was going. And we did get some more political lobbies to pop up, other than the Anti-Arkansas Association. We now have the Anti-Ontarian League, which wants us to attack Ontario. And we have the Anti-Rhode Island League. And Rhode Island is here, so they probably are going to want us to build our port system, and start to build our navy. Okay, JP Morgan bought some more money, acquired some more dollar bills. Yeah, so this number here, okay, I need to start saying the right words. This number here, the base vanilla number, is money. Over here, the dollar bill is called currency. Buildings take both. They take money and currency. The currency and the money are tied together. Okay. So when I say money, I'm talking about this, and when I say currency, I'm talking about the dollar from now on, because I keep saying those 2 words interchangeably. All right, so let's see this event. Pronunciamento. It's not in English. Brigadier General Aaron Hollowell has issued a pronunciamento from his headquarters in Michigan. The general and his allies in the military interests have come into open opposition of our government. Hello, citizens. The regime in Detroit has proclaimed a death sentence for Michigan and has deprived us of any hope of putting an end to civil disorder. Nothing remains outside of an appeal to the people. So this guy, February 11th, 1737, is going to either take charge of the government, or I tell him I will not cooperate, and I get devastation, and I get the coup is successfully defeated. Or here, let's see, I enabled a law called Regulated Adoption Law, 2% birth rate. Military interests get victory coupists. The aristocratic interest is removed from the government. I get plus 50 legislative ability. What law do I have in here now? The law that regulates the adoption process, ensuring that it is conducted ethically and is in the best interest of the child. It aims to protect the rights of children and promote responsible parenting. Yeah, that sounds better. What do I have right now? I have this one. The life rights law says this law recognizes the right to life and prohibits practices that violate this right, such as euthanasia and abortion, and aims to protect the sanctity of life and promote ethical standards in society. And it's a negative 2% education bonus. So this one here is better. It gives a 2% birth rate bonus, and it makes sure that it protects the rights of children. Okay, good. And it's probably on top of the other law. So it would be like this law is still going to be in effect, and this law will be on top of this. So yeah, let's give this guy will be our new leader, and he'll take over Prince James Tarbox. He's the wrathful diplomat. Oh, wait a minute. The military interest guy is a slaver. That's fine. We'll do it. So it looks like, oh, the military interest is in the government from the coup, but the prince is still Prince Tarbox, and the prime minister is still Delano. Is still Minister Delano. Who is Delano? Who is this guy? He is a naturalist. All right. So the military got into the government, but they didn't kick out the prince or the prime minister. That's pretty cool. So March 1st, 1738, sort of a new government, and we're going to go and look at that in a second. Let me look at these pop-ups. We have a new naturalist. We don't want to replace our old one, so forget about him. Miasma theory loses introspective sovereignty. Every day that Dr. Eaton focuses more and more on research methods, traditional miasma theory becomes less relevant. The germ theory seems more convincing. So the germ theory gets reinforced by a few pieces of evidence. It's a different percent chance for different amounts of it. Good. Now he's a famous physician. Nice. He was an experienced physician. Now he's a famous physician. So now that the military interests are in power, the only thing we can change is our economic system to agrarianism. I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. A tool shortage. Let's minimize that event for now. I'm going to go to Michigan, and well, first I want to see what is using tools. The publishing industry is using tools. Right, yeah. They use tools for the printing press. That's fine though. Construction sector is only half full, so we'll just leave that how it is. Over here in South Dakota, Construction sector has 24 more weeks. Now, I'll come back to this event. It's about a fossil. During his studies, Dr. Sedgwick came into contact with another paleontologist. Through negotiation channels, he was able to acquire a fossil that supports his latest thesis, sometimes at the university's expense. So I gotta pay $10,000 to buy one fossil. $10,000 for one fossil. And I don't have a choice. I have to click it. Let me see, how many fossils do I have? Looks like I have 4 fossils. And I think I could put the fossils together to make different animals that we can go and look at once we unlock them. See, North America has Ankylosaurus, Diplodocus, Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and a Stegosaurus. So we can find these dinosaurs in North America. Okay, 10,000. And we're still spending $5,000 every month towards the Olympic Games. And we're spending $5,000, about 4.9, to acquire silver that we don't have. That's why it's so expensive. If I were to put a tool factory here, how long would that take? "48 weeks. That's too long. So after we build the construction sector, New York is going to build its port. And then I'm going to build the silver mine in Minnesota. And then afterwards, probably a tooling shop in Michigan. And I might do the tooling shop before the shipyard. Now, if I look at my journal, there's a whole lot of different things that we can work towards. For example, I'll just go to sports, and we can see we can create baseball and basketball. You can find the elements, all the elements of the periodic table. There's different types of medical research. You can go after different diseases. We can do different types of music. We could release books. All kind of fun stuff. July 10th, 1738. If I look at Michigan, the construction sector still isn't filling up very well. So I'm going to go to my decree. I'm going to put some decrees on the state. I'm going to add promote social mobility to have more qualifications and more research more education access. Now I'm going to do encourage agriculture industry, mainly because that's what I have most of. JP Morgan bought some more acquired some more currency. Now in one of those banks, when JP Morgan collects currency, I'm pretty sure that they take it out of the Federal Reserve Bank. Let's see, it says here, in the central bank has 6.15 million. It did say that they were gaining 150 per month, and then it switched over to negative 333 per month. So the central bank may print money on its own. It may print its own money without my intervention. Okay, the construction sector over here in South Dakota just finished. Alright. So now we're working on our port. The port in New York. It's going to take 47 weeks. That's only because it has a low construction efficiency. Let's see why. Probably because I took it over. Recently conquered. Yeah. Financial Center Historic Place. Right, because the New York Stock Exchange exists here. JP Morgan owns 2 levels of the stock exchange, and the Michigan government nationally owns 1. Now the government here in this game doesn't actually represent me. It's sort of like its own entity, and whether or not the government owns the building or not isn't inherently good or bad. But I'd like to focus more on the pops owning things rather than the government. But I also don't think that I want a single pop to own everything. It kind of would be the same. After years of work, our paleontologist is now experienced. So let's see. The powerful clout that the aristocratic interest holds has become a menacing presence over our government. One of our agents has approached us, suggesting a less conventional solution. The door has been opened without anyone noticing until the wind spreads the documents resting on the wooden table. So they surely need our guidance. This will lead to events diminishing the aristocratic interest's power. And utterly immoral says that we'll dismiss and we will suppress the aristocratic interests through conventional means. Yeah, I'm going to diminish the aristocratic power. I don't want to suppress the aristocratic interests. Because the people, the prince and the prime minister are both still aristocrats. Political migration. The rich and unstable political environment in Michigan has proven attractive to political exiles. Oh, so this just means that I let this guy, an Algonquin Protestant, in, and he's a socialist, or I have -10 radicals. I think I'll let in the socialist. Yeah, come on in. Whenever I get an option that says to let somebody in, whoever they are, I'm always going to let them in. And I only have so many slots. Here, let me see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots for agitators. So it's a first come, first serve. Whoever wants to come in, I'm going to let them, and they can do whatever they want. Try to change the nation in their own images. Let's see. An unflattering article. We have hired unscrupulous journals to write damaging articles about the aristocratic interests, harming their reputation. So let's see, just one article and you'll pay off all my debts? So he's trying to say if you publish this article saying these bad things, he's going to pay off all this guy's debts. So in this option, the last option, why pay when we owe the newspaper, when we own? So this is going to make aristocratic interests -15%. This will make the business interest go up. This one is going to cost me some money. So I'm going to say, shouldn't journalism include some ethics? And that'll help the business guys out. And it looks like our government is a squabbling legislature. So the military coup isn't really working out for the military. With the attitudes of the urban workers towards Arkansas growing more apathetic, their leadership has begun to discuss reassessing the group's support for the Anti-Arkansas Association. Yeah, so the urban workers are going to leave there. Yeah, they shouldn't have been there to begin with. They realize how dumb it is to want to go and attack Arkansas. They should join the Anti-Ontarian League. But for now, I'm going to hold off on the wars. I also notice up here my bureaucracy is a -2. And I think I'm just going to turn down my regional administration, which is going to effectively make my radicalization be increased by 4%. The Anti-Arkansas Association disbanded. Okay, good. Yeah, so I need more bureaucracy. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to build another government administration center. And I'm going to put it on top of my list. And it's going to be complete in 9 weeks. So our doctor can go describe a new disease in Tennessee. He's going to go and check out the typhus epidemic. All right, good luck. Oh, Tennessee is our border. We are bordered with Tennessee. Because they came up here and they took, looks like Maryland and Delaware. So that might cause some tensions. But if our doctor goes down here and checks out this tuberculosis, hopefully it doesn't spread across the border. JP Morgan strengthened its currency holdings. Yeah, so they acquired more currency. And the money situation up here shows I have 2.7 million out of 19 million credit. The money supply has gone up by $1 million. Because I did only have 87 million supply, but now it's 88. There's 82 million in circulation. I'm going into the maize farm and I'm gonna click on my farmer's population. And I'm gonna see if I can find where are they holding their money. Do they have a currency? Let's see. Population, social class, job satisfaction, literacy, loyalists, interest group. So they're part of the Yemen farmers. 31 of them are absolutionists. There's one guy in this population is a moderate liberal. This population only has one person. Well, 3 population, 1 worker, so it's probably him, his wife, and one of his kids. He's a Dixie atheist. Right, because that's why he's split. These ones are Yankee atheists, and then he's the one Dixie Yankee atheist. So, Dr. Eaton has developed a procedure to operate on people with kidney stones. That's good, considering the last couple guys that he tried to help, he made their kidney stones worse. The option says, I'm getting antsy just thinking about it. So, let's see. My physician gains 5 experience and 15 experience, so 20 total. 50% kidney stone treatment success chance, indefinitely. Awesome. The next guy he treats, he's probably going to mess it up and make him worse. I am going to send my paleontologist on a paleological expedition to North America, because I'm in North America, so it's free. Didn't have to spend anything. And I'm going to have our naturalist document the local fauna. Yeah. Let's have our physician treat somebody. He's going to try to treat another guy with kidney stones. And he did it. He treated him. He got rid of his kidney stones. Good. I should maybe go to war with somebody else. Try to get Illinois and Indiana so that our territories are connected. Because there's no bridge up here in Michigan yet. I don't know if I'll be able to build one or not. In the vanilla game, it doesn't really matter. But now that I have all these different mods, I wonder if there's a Mackinac Bridge. If I were to declare a diplomatic play on Indiana, looks like Iowa might join them. I know that if I take Illinois, I'm going to get the Chicago I'm going to get the Chicago Stock Exchange. The Olympic Games begin. The whole world made its way to Michigan. Athletes from 4 nations take place in this international event. We are proud to be the hosts. May our athletes benefit from the home advantage. All right, so let the games begin. If I click on sports and I go to the IOC, I could look at the 4 nations that are in the Olympics, and it's Katara, Oman, and Saskatchewan. Where is Katara at? So Katara is an African nation over here. Oman, I'm going to assume, is probably a Middle Eastern nation. Yeah, right here, Oman. And Saskatchewan is over here in Canada. Right here, bordered with me. So these guys in Katara, they gotta walk all the way across here, get in the boat, sail around the ocean over here. I don't know how they're gonna accomplish that. I'll probably go pick them up. I'll go pick them up. It looks like the port's gonna be done in 19 weeks. I'm sure there's some ships, personal ships that these guys have built on their own. The well-organized Olympic Games. The other participants in the Olympic Games are full of praise for the good organization of the Games. Everything works smoothly. Holding an Olympic Games means evoking history. Yeah, cool. Plus 5% bureaucracy. So now we're up to 11 bureaucracy. Now this government administration, I kind of want to bring it up to filing cabinets, but I don't want to do that until I at least build 2 more government buildings. And I'll probably put 1 in New York and 1 in Ohio. Yeah. But I don't know if that would be worth it because they're not states yet. Well, it says state, but it isn't. It's not incorporated. It's an unincorporated state. If I make it a corporated state, then the government might be worth more. Well, no, because I'm not going to collect taxes. Right, so if there's no taxes, I am going to put that down. Yeah, if I'm not collecting very many taxes, I won't need the government for the taxes. So I can just build it for... Yeah, okay. So I can just build it for the administration points, the bureaucracy points. I'm not going to... Won't do that yet. I'll do that next time I reach over this limit. If this drops back down to 0, I'll put 1 in Ohio. Open my demographs. Olympic Games end. I dominate the Olympic Games with 7 gold medals. Qatar got a gold medal. Hell yeah. So I'll open my demographic census data. You can see that we mostly still just have peasants. 11 million peasants. But that's fine, I like peasants. The codling moth spreads to Michigan. The codling moth has expanded its home range from a neighboring region. It has also spread into STAAT to infest the orchard there. Fruit prices will rise. Michigan gets the Cydia pominella, negative 20% fruit building output. Yeah, so our maize farm produces less fruit, so it's going to make less money. That's alright, I don't have any other farms anywhere. I do have a maize farm in Wisconsin. I'm not going to grow fruit on that farm. I'm going to turn the fruit off of South Dakota also. And there's wheat farms out here in Montana, they already don't. They only grow wheat, so I don't have to change that. So here's the Olympic Committee. We already looked at that. I went in there and looked at it. I didn't realize it was going to pop up in a few seconds. All right. Our infamy is 648. That's going to take a long time to lower our infamy. And it gives us 100% radicals from conquest. But that's fine. Don't mind radicals. I don't mind revolutions. We don't mind much here as long as Michigan stays as the superpower. And Tennessee rushing to my border kind of has me nervous about them building up their literacy rate so close to me and having a lot of my technologies and research flow into Tennessee. They might adapt a lot faster than those around them. The bank acquired more currency. If I click on this tab on the right side, the economic outliner, I'm going to click on JP Morgan. And yeah, it doesn't really say in the corporation screen how much money they own. But I think it does say it here in the financial window. It's like a pie chart. Yeah, JP Morgan, $16,000 bills, currency. I have 88 million. Yeah, but it doesn't tell me how much is in circulation in this window. It only tells me the circulation here in this window. So the Olympic Committee elected a new board to get ready for the next Olympics. And now I'm not paying for the Olympics. So I get to keep $5,000 every month. And in 4 years from now, in 43, when the Olympics pop up, I'm going to try to pay attention, and I'm not going to pay for the Olympics. Yeah, right here, see that line? You can see the line jump up after the Olympics were over. Way up here. One more week till the port in New York is done. So we'll come to the port here. We'll make sure it's a cargo port. Okay, yes it is. So now the port will make merchant marines that our trade center is going to use. Oh, it looks like the trade center was... I need to build another one. Let's see. How long will that take? 13 weeks. So I'm going to do that. I'll put that trade center in New York. That way we can start to trade with somebody. I don't know how many people are on the market yet. Let's take a look. World market. Oh, there's a lot of participants here. Yeah, there's a lot of markets open that we can stick our fingers in. Most of them are exporting. There's a few importers, but mostly they're exporting all this extra stuff that they make. Jamaica. Let's go to Jamaica. Let's see what they're doing down here. So here's Jamaica. They have a trade center, manor house, financial districts, privately owned. Oops. Looks like they have a different type of currency than I do. Yeah, see, they still use local currency. They don't have any kind of... They just use whatever the public has. Any personal coins, probably gold and silver coins. They have fishing wharves, logging camps, bananas, coffee, sugar, and tobacco. So here's some events. Social criticism. Fundamental changes in audience tastes due to political, social, and cultural changes in the country have led to a change in the preference of a literary genre. Oh, that says it's going to change. Let's go to art. Wow, all these pop-ups are open. If I go to art, and I go to artists, and I go to writer, it says the preference is socially critic. Now if I click this, it might change. So it looks like the different things can be adventure, crime and mystery, devotional, juvenile literature, literary fiction, romance, science fiction, and socially critique. So then whatever, if we get a writer, they'll write books about those things. And each one of those books is going to have different pushes and pulls on our society towards or away from different aspects. Machu Picchu. Alright, so I'm going to send my archaeologist down to looking for the lost city of Machu Picchu deep in the Andes. Alright, pre-Columbian archaeology unlocked. So here's George Whitman is an experienced naturalist. That's good. Ebenezer Arthur is an experienced archaeologist. Awesome. The Great Michiganian Bicycle Race. So here's a new race. It is November 23rd, 1739. And I could either put it in the newspaper or use it for political gain and get more loyalists. I can get 3 literary tradition plus 10 publishing industry throughput. How is my publishing industry looking? So they need tools. They're losing money. They only pay $1.64 wage. They can't even afford that. Yeah, so I'm going to increase their throughput. That might help a little. I'll build this tooling workshop after the trade center and before the silver mine. Yeah, it looks like the port's going to have a hard time to survive without flippers too. But all of that's fine. So the next Olympic Games are going to take place over there in Africa, in Qatar. Hell yeah, that sounds cool. So our athletes will head across the ocean over there to Africa. So right now the date in the game is December 30th, December 31st. Now it's January 1st. And that's where I'm gonna, let's see, Dr. Eaton presented his disease description of typhus today. January 1st, 1740. We've described typhus. Now we know the beast better. That's going to give us the professional interests approval rate and a minus 1% mortality for 5 years. Cool. And it gave him some experience points. Alright, so that's where I'm going to end this episode. Thanks for watching, coming along for this journey of Michigan through time. And I'll see you next time when we work on a few more things and check out what a few more people are doing down here in our world building project. So hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll probably see you sooner than later. Alright, it's the Michigan Mayor. See you later.